All helps come from God, but most helps will come through men. It is therefore extremely important that we understand the way God communicates help to us if we are going to become all that He has called us to be. I'm going to be showing from Scripture 7 different ways by which God makes help available unto you and I. But before I do so, let me encourage you to write in the comments section, I receive all the help that God has for me. I receive all the help that God has for me. Now, the first kind of help that God makes available unto men is the help of the multiplier. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, God pronounced the blessing upon man, saying, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. God wanted man to be more than one on earth. But when God created Adam, God knew that that was not going to happen unless He brings another person to come and associate or connect with Adam. God called this being a help that is suitable for Adam. It was when Adam and Eve, his wife, connected that they were able to produce offsprings that resulted in earth being filled with human beings today. God has pronounced blessings upon your life. He has prophecies that He has spoken concerning you. But many of those things will not come into manifestation unless you are connected with multipliers. That is, people who on associating with you or connecting with you will cause there to be a multiplication in your life. That is why you need multipliers in your life, and you need to begin to ask God to send them your way. The second kind of help that you need is that of the encourager. In 2 Kings chapter 5, we read the story of Naaman, how he went unto Elisha seeking solution to his leprosy problem. Elisha the prophet gave clear instructions that he should go and dip himself in the river Jordan 7 times. This got him very angry because he probably thought that the river Jordan was dirty and undignifying for someone like him to go and swim in. But his servants encouraged him to go ahead with the plan, letting him realize that he had nothing to lose. It was only at that point that he decided to go on with the instructions of the prophet. And on doing that, he came out after the 7th time with his skin completely clean of every form of leprosy. You see, in the pursuit of our different goals in life, there'll be times that the flesh will kick in to form a hindrance to us becoming all God has called us to be. At this time, we need people with encouraging voices so that we can, on hearing their voice, go on to become all God has called us to be, in spite of the oppositions, whether from within or without. The third kind of help that we need to become all God has called us to be is that of the mediator. There are people who know the very kind of person that you need that would come into your life for you to become all God has called you to be. These people can connect you with them if you have the right kind of relationship with them. Joseph must have been praying that God would bring him out of the prison that he was in for an offense he did not commit. And when God was going to answer his prayer, God sent the butler into the prison. He formed a relationship with the butler, and that relationship was what opened the door for him 2 years later to become connected with Pharaoh. You see, Pharaoh had the dream. Joseph had the ability to interpret, but the mediator between both of them was the butler. And it was when he did the work that Joseph was not just able to come out of prison, but was also able to occupy a position where he could fulfill the purpose of God for his life. You need mediators if you are going to become all God has called you to be. The fourth kind of person that you need in order to fulfill all that God has called you to fulfill is the interpreter. It was Pharaoh that had the dream, but he lacked the understanding of what the dream meant. Therefore, he could do nothing with it. But there was a man by the name of Joseph that came into his life that gave interpretation of the dream and the application, that is the steps that needed to be taken for the dream to be profitable for him. There are dreams that you have in your life that you know absolutely nothing regarding what you are going to do with them. But there are people who, if they come into your life, they know exactly what to do to make that your dream a reality. They know how to turn it from being something that is a figment of your imagination or a dream that you have written down into something that is practical and applicable, something that will produce profits for you. You need this kind of men in your life if you are going to fulfill God's desire for your life. The fifth is the deliverer. Israel was in the land of Egypt crying to God for help, and they did this continuously until God answered their prayers by raising a man called Moses to bring them out. They cried unto God. God raised a man by the name of Moses. This was their deliverer. All the time that Israel was in the land of promise and they would sin against God, and then the oppressors would come against them, they would cry to God for help, and God would raise deliverers for them in the judges that ruled over them. God is still in the business of raising deliverers for us. No matter the situation that we find ourselves in, God will always send helpers that would be deliverers for us if we cry unto Him. We therefore need to understand that this is available and ask God to help us to identify them when He sends these deliverers into our lives. It could be in the area of your business, it could be in the area of your career, your finance, or your health. There are deliverers that God has assigned unto you, and if you will ask Him to send them to you today in prayer, He will make them available unto you. The sixth kind of help is the instructor. Moses was burdening himself with sitting over the different cases that was happening in the land of Israel. At this time, they were in the wilderness, quite all right. But the burden was heavy on him until Jethro came and told him what to do. It was the instruction that came from Jethro that formed the plan that he was using so that the burden upon him became easier. God did not reveal it unto him in a vision. God sent men unto him to make this happen. Apostle Paul said that we have fathers, but we also have those who are called instructors. There are people who will give you the information that you need, either through their teachings or through books, so that you can enter into the fullness of that which God has for you. These are instructors, and you need their help for you to become all God has called you to be. The last but not the least are the promoters. Joseph had a dream, but he could not realize that dream himself. He needed a man like Pharaoh to promote him from being a prisoner to becoming somebody in the palace, a prime minister in a strange land. It took the decree of the king for Joseph to come out of prison and sit on the platform for divine destiny. What about Esther? He even took the decree of the king for the wicked plan of Haman to be reversed. There are people who are promoters, who God has given the authority to lift you from where you are onto where He has prepared for you to be. It does not matter how hard you pray. If these people do not come into your life, what God has for you will not manifest. You therefore need all these kind of helps if you are going to become all that God has called you to be. You need the multiplier. You need the encourager. You need the mediator. You need the instructor. You need the interpreter. You need the deliverer. And you also need the promoter. My prayer for you is that God will open your eyes to see these ones as you pray and ask Him to send them into your life. And as they begin to enter into your life, you will begin to take the right kind of step in responding to them the right way, so that all that God has prepared for you, you can enter into the fullness of them without any further delay. Thank you for being part of today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Remember, write in the comment section, I receive all the help that God has for me. God bless you, and see you next time.